When you throw a website out on the internet, you've staked a little corner of the internet as your own. But is it doing anything for you? But listen, your website should be an investment in your business, which means it absolutely needs to get you some kind of return. The way that many customers find us is so varied these days. They see us on social media, then maybe they get an email, check out a blog, listen to a podcast before they ever really fully explore our website. Then, of course, some get to your website organically through Google search and other search engines. I hear they exist. And with every customer coming to us through a myriad of ways, how do you know if your website is working for you as a silent salesperson? Now, there are several factors you should be paying attention to, so let's dive into what matters. The most important thing to understand is knowing how many people are visiting your website, besides you and your team or your mom. Now, unfortunately, websites are not a build it and they will come thing. You have to give people a reason to come there in the first place, and then a reason to come back again. Like, you want them to come back and visit you multiple times. It takes multiple touch points a lot of times for people to turn into a lead or a sale. Now, most website platforms, whether you host on WordPress, or not host on, but whether you have a WordPress website or host on Squarespace or Wix or Showit, they're going to have some kind of analytics and tracking that you can use to check how many people are hitting your website. But if you want real numbers in the clearest picture, you want to add a free Google Analytics tag to your website. You just have to go set up the account. It'll walk you through how to do it. And then they're going to keep track of the data you need and can help you even see what search terms are bringing people to your website when you pair it with Google Search Console. Also a free resource. Now, just an aside, yes, I understand that this sounds really technical, and it can get that way. If you don't want to dive deep into Google Analytics because you don't need something else to learn, you can hire someone who can look at your numbers and tell you what everything means. However, just seeing your most visited pages is pretty straightforward, so it's definitely worth some time just to understand that. Now, when you look at how many people visit your website, we call this traffic. You want to ensure that you're paying attention to what pages they're looking at most, where they come from, whether it's social media ads, clicks, other ads, social media in general, Google search, and if they're coming from the geographic areas you want to work with. It is a very real thing that you could have some not so great people hit your website from certain countries. Now look at a few months. You don't want to just look at the last 30 days, the last week. You need to look at like the last 6 months to a year if you have it, because you want to see if that number overall is trending up or down. Most of us have seasons in our business where things are busier, but you don't want to be constantly losing traffic either. Now, the next question you have to think about is, okay, people are coming to our website. We know how many people are coming and what they're looking at, but are they doing anything? You need to know if they're actually taking action once they hit your website. Now, the purpose of a website, when you're trying to get a return on your investment anyway, which I think everybody is, the purpose of your website is not to just have people visit. They need to do something. So how do you work with clients? You need to ask yourself this question. Do they need to book a call? Do they need to fill out a form of some kind, pay for a service directly, or just join your email list? Ask yourself, are any of these things happening? I know as a service-based business that it's important that I get on calls with leads. Just for instance, I'm selling a higher ticket thing. Typically in a service business you are, and it's going to be sometimes a few months of working together, sometimes pretty closely to finish that project. We all want to like the people we're working with. So, a call or a meeting is really important to gauge whether this is actually working. Are you consistently getting those calls? Are you getting on a call with new people, or you're getting new people reaching out to you wanting to work with you on a consistent basis? Of course, many times with service based businesses, a customer may not want to work with you immediately because, again, you're offering something a little higher ticket, but they do like your content. So, to know if you are getting those colder leads to start paying attention, you need to know if they're signing up for your lead magnet, commenting or reading multiple blogs, looking at your services page for a longer time, and sometimes multiple times. We can't just have people visit our websites. We need our websites to make them take some kind of action and move them towards working with us. Now, if you're listening to this and wondering how to answer these questions for yourself and for your business, I want you to do a little exercise. So go get a notebook, open up a Google Doc. If you're listening to this while walking, I would sit down first, unless you're, really good at walking and typing. So you can open up an Apple Notes app too. But I want you to answer these questions for your business. Now, if you want this full list of questions, you can get them in today's show notes, available to you very easily at captcoder.com/075. Now, okay, let's get started. The first question: what sales process works best for you? So you're filling out a form. They need to schedule a call. They need to get on, you want them to get on your email list. You don't want to work with people unless they've been on your list for a while. Like, you may have a higher end to working with people. It may take them some work to be qualified to work with you. So how do you want them to work with you, and what typically works best? If you've been around for longer than a year, you typically know that, "Hey, I need to get on a call," or "I know that they need to read some of my content first," or "I'd like them to watch this webinar first." So sit down and ask, what sales process works best for me? Now, number two, what do I want someone to do when they come to my website? I want you to write down a few. So there's more than one answer here, and rank those in order of what's most important. So some of those things, again, maybe some of the same thing. It may be filling out a form. It may be downloading a lead magnet. It may be reading blogs. It may be sharing my content, linking to my content. Just sit down and write out what I want them to do when they come to my website. What is the purpose of getting people to my website? And then number three, this is a big one. What am I hoping to get out of my website? What do you hope people are doing? Like, what do you want? What is the purpose of this? Why did you even build a website? Sit down and write the answers to those questions. I want you to do that first. So hit pause if you need to, and come back when you have all of these written out. All right, I'll give you a couple minutes. Now, here, if I could afford it, I'd enter like the Jeopardy theme, but I don't need to deal with copyright violations. So let's dive in to and open up your website. So preferably someplace where you can be sitting down. Don't do this while walking the dog. And look at your website and ask yourself these questions. What are you telling customers to do to work with you? So, are you telling them how to work with you? Are you being super clear in how to work with you? So, this question is, am I making it very obvious what the next step is? Do I make it really easy to find that answer? So, those are three questions. What are you telling your customers to do to work with you? Are you telling them anything at all? Are you being super clear in how to work with you? Do you make it easy to find that answer? In my website, top right of the menu is book a clarity call, telling people immediately what I want them to do, right? And it's the very top of every single page. Are you making it easy for people to find the answer of what to do next? Now, this one's important. I want you to go through your website like you're a customer. How many clicks does it take to find that answer of how to work with you? And then are you clear about the benefits of working with you? Because that's the other thing. People may come and you may have found them, they may have found you on social media, they may have seen or heard you on a podcast or another video show, but are you being very clear about why they should work with you? And I'm not talking about all the features and all the things that you throw into your services. I'm talking about what transformation do I get when I come to you for my business? And I want you to take these answers and just ruminate on them for a while. You are not necessarily going to have a clear picture right now. This is something I want you to reflect on and really think about. Now, what typically happens when I work with a customer is that their website is not very clear and it is incredibly hard for a customer to know what's next. Honestly, the worst case scenario here is that they like your content but don't know what to do in order to actually work with you. So they hit the back button and look for the next listing in Google search. Or they go back to social media to find somebody else that can help them. That doesn't have to be the reality for your business. You can unlock your website's potential. Your website can be an incredibly powerful tool for your business, helping you to bring in consistent leads and customers. But it can't do that if you aren't doing the things you need to bring them to your website and convert them once they're there. That is a key thing. You can have a whole bunch of people land on your website. You can drive a ton of people to your website. But if there's no way for them to know how to work with you or what it looks like to work with you, they gone, right? They're not going to stick around for that. If you want your website to become that silent salesperson who takes people from confused to ready to go, then you need to unlock your website's potential. Now, as my holiday present to you, I've got a free guide just for you. You can download it in the link below and get my 10 strategies to turn visitors into leads. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you next week.